We are now deep inside the editing of our Sungei Bedok run for Singapore frontrunners. Let me give you an update on what's happened. We cleaned up things a bit. Uh, Earlier when we did our project in Final Cut Pro, it created a folder called the 1826, which is a date, and it put everything inside it, including the all the um, including all the compound clips. Well, what I did was that I created a new event called Reel One, and then I moved all my stuff in there. Therefore, I'm keeping our original clips inside 1826, and then I move my clips into Reel One. This is my work. Earlier we were editing Reel One, and we saw that it was quite complicated. Now it's a lot simpler. And thanks to compound clips, we organize a lot of the clips by just setting a whole bunch of them, clicking right click, new compound clip, and that's how we simplified to this. Now you can see the structure of our new video. There'll be an intro, followed by a warm up, followed by a run, alter, then the finish. Okay, let me switch off the scrubbing audio so it's easier for me to talk through this. Once again, scrubbing. No, not that. Scrub audio. This one. Yeah. Okay, good. It's quieter now. Once again, the structure of our overall video is that we will have an intro section, followed by a warm up, followed by a run. Then we encountered some authors. We'll show a sequence of that, and at the finish, we will have 5 sections of the video. The timing I haven't quite confirmed yet. I might import in the music and then match up the various sections with the music. Yeah, that will come in next. But this is the rough organization of our overall video. Last our live stream, we were talking about the warm up and how it got complicated. Well, we fixed it. The problem I made earlier on was that I created a compound clip for the top part, but I forgot to create a compound clip for the middle and the bottom part. And then that became quite complicated. Now let me show you why that's easier now. Okay, what happened was that you see that there are now 3 compound clips. The top compound clip, when we double click on it, it is simply a clip here that has the transform, that has the panning applied, right? And also it has the scaling. We're doing a zoom of 129%. As we learned from the Adobe Premiere videos, when we do a zoom and a scan, it makes things complicated because as we try to locate things in the screen, when we try to composite multiple videos into the same frame, numbers get messed up. Once we do it in a compound clip, it makes things easier. So if you return to the previous one by pressing this button here, top, center, and bottom, right? The Y coordinates are a lot clearer now. If you look at the Y coordinate for this bottom compound clip, the Y position is 0, right? This the coordinate system is a bit different from Premiere. Remember that we are doing this in 4K resolution, meaning that vertically there are 3,840 pixels, right? When we divide it by 3, we get 1280, 1,280 pixels. Therefore, the center clip will have to move up by 1280 pixels, right? 0 is the bottom. Center will be 1280 because 1280 is 3840 divided by 3. Then the top clip will be at 1280 multiplied by 2, which is 2560. Yeah, everything becomes a lot cleaner now. If we tried to do a position and a scale at the same time, it will get messed up. Now the scale is 100% because we're using a compound clip. The scale is happening inside the compound clip, not outside it. When we do that, it's a lot easier to manage the position. It's also easier to add in the effect. Notice that we are doing a drop shadow effect. Earlier, in the previous video, we did a black kind of bar. Now we change it to white to distinguish it from the earlier video, but everything else is the same, right? There. Okay, next for the warm-up clip. So warm-up clip is all done. For the running clip, notice that we have this kind of like a smooth transition. We are panning from center to left, left to right, and then there's a smooth transition between them. What happens is that again, it's a compound clip here. Let me go in and show you. This is the first clip that has got a pan transition. Then we overlay a second clip here that also has a similar transition. This clip below is transitioning from left to center to right. But as we transition from center to right, this top clip here, clip 11, will also transition from center to right, then back to center, then left. Then this is where this clip takes over, which also replicates the transition from center to left, and then center, and stays there, right? If you look at the keyframes, we can see that it's kind of the same uh, uh, the same kind of panning that we always did. We always pan from, say, left to center. We hold it for 2 seconds, then pan it from this is center to right, hold for 2 seconds, then pan back to center, hold for 2 seconds, then pan to left, right? You can see the numbers shifting here, the panning. So it goes from 0 to -90, then -90 stays there, then pan back to 0, and finally stays at 0 and back to 90, right? I also noticed that we have a compositing quality, right? Compositing opacity. This is where we fade in one clip and we fade out the other. If we expand it, we will see it here too, right? This clip will gradually fade to black, transparent, and this clip will fade in from transparent to fully opaque, right? To do this, this ramping out is quite easy. That when you point it correctly, you see this left right cursor. This will allow you to drag left and right to change the opacity. So right now we set the opacity to at full opacity at 2, right? And it's quite easy to drag the opacity. And we did the same thing for this clip here, right? And next for our running clip. Now, running clip has got scenery inside it. This is the scenery. What's missing is that we're going to change the top part of the video. The top part of the video, we're going to feature the faces of our runners. So we do a zoom in, a close up, maybe some super slow motion, so that we can focus on the faces. And that will fill up the top half of the frame. Which means that likely we'll have to speed up the video at the bottom half of the frame. The scenery will speed up, whereas the faces at top will do a super slow motion. Let's see how it works. Interesting. Next for the run part. The otter section is here. So we see the otter swimming up there. We slowly do a zoom out. We might change this. It turns out that the resolution is quite grainy. We zoom in a bit too much. For your information, our scale is 178%, and this is quite bad. We have to reduce this. It's quite grainy. It doesn't look good. Then towards the middle of the video, we will superimpose a video of John and Jared looking at the otter, and we fortunately we also captured John saying these are otters. We'll feature that as part of the dialogue. Let's go back to the overall timeline again. That's the otters. Finally, with the finished part. So this is the part where we run to the end. Again, we will inside the compound clip, we will superimpose a map of the ending point of the run. This is the Bedok food center. In fact, I can do it now. If I go back to here, I can just look for Bedok Food Center and drag it in. And okay, I shouldn't do that. Like this. Right. Well, to adjust the speed and all that, but yeah, you get the idea. And this will have to go further up. Let's do this transform. Move it up. I'll press the shift key so that it won't shift too much. I might increase the scale so that we'll show only the left part. Yeah, somehow okay, let's undo. Because the X and Y scales are getting messed up. Come on, undo. Okay, we scale up a bit and then we can shift it down. Yeah, something like that. This is where we have the yeah, we have the ball dropping onto our ending point. Then we will have a title. Oh great. Okay, now trouble is that it's just doing okay, it's kind of messed up because right now it's just putting in one part of the clip. That's not right. We will have to adjust this. And then we will superimpose a title that says Bedok Food Center at the top. We will superimpose the end location at the top of the clip. We will do the same for the starting intro. Yeah, there will be a caption here that says, there'll be a caption here that says Bedok North MRT. Okay, yeah, the structure is there. We are, it looks like it's more or less okay. One thing I learned to speed up the preview. In fact, the preview can be quite slow. Some of the parts here were quite draggy. Notice right now we ramp up the speed. So these are is running on a very high speed. How we did that was that I click this thing here, and we are doing an automatic speed. Okay, then then there's this corner here, the right, top right. I had to drag it to make it really fast. Apparently that took a lot of processing power and it became quite slow. Therefore, what I did was to create a proxy. A proxy is like a low resolution version of the video. This will allow Final Cut Pro to render our previews a lot quicker. To do that, we go into our compound clip here. Let's say warm up. Then we can say right click, Transcode Media. Normally, right now it's disabled, but earlier it was enabled. Then I could click both checkboxes. We will create optimized media and we will create a proxy media, leave it at ProRes proxy, frame size 50%. And then click OK. This will transcode our compound clips into a lower resolution version that's quicker to edit, right? And that came out quite okay. Notice that when I do a preview now, I just press spacebar. It's quite smooth. There. You can see that the proxy really works. It makes the preview a lot quicker now. And this is very helpful because as we edit our video to fit the music, to match the beats of the music, this will be very important. We need to hit the precise beats in a video. We also did some rendering into a MP4 file just to see how it works. To do that, we had to, let's see, right-click, share project, Apple devices 4K because we are using the highest resolution. And then just select default, next. Then it will just encode in the background. Trouble is that it's encoding in the background. Unlike Windows Media and unlike Adobe Media Encoder, it won't show up in the foreground that is doing this encoding. To see that Final Cut Pro is really doing the encoding, we need to do the window background task. Then we will see an item here that says that it's rendering the video, right? Right now it's idle, it's not doing anything. The other enhancement I did was that under settings, I turned on this feature called background render. Previously, it was unchecked. I checked it. That means that if there's idle for 0.3 seconds, it will start to do some of the processing of the video in the background to make it quicker for rendering. I believe Premiere has this always on by default. That's why you notice that after a while, the whole system becomes quite slow. I think it's been doing some background rendering. For Final Cut Pro, this thing is off by default. We need to turn it on, and that will help to do this background rendering, which will create a better, preview experience. Right. The next step is to edit this video to match the music, and then to fill in some of the missing videos. Like for example, this run part will have faces in there. We need to fill in the top part, the faces. Author will have the John and Jared on top. Okay, we're going to put this into the video also. Also missing is the audio. Now, remember that we created our audio project in Premiere Pro. What happened was that we used Logic Pro to split our music into vocals and other instrument tracks. Then we imported it into Premiere to do the mixing. Right? We chose one part of the audio. We tuned out the vocals for some parts, and then we okay, this is not it. Let me just open the right one. File. Close project. The one that we did is open project under our video 360 folder here, Premiere. We have the music folder here. Yeah, this is our music, Scream and Shout, and then we did some editing. Let's play back. Yep, this is it. Now, how am I going to combine this music with Final Cut Pro? Yeah, right now I'll just do the shortcut. I'll just simply export the audio from this from Premiere and then import the audio into Final Cut Pro. To do that, I will just do a file, export, send to Adobe Media Encoder. Adobe Media Encoder is there. Yeah, it will create MP4 file that's video. Can I disable the video? Okay, I'm trying to look for a setting that will disable the video, but that's okay. It doesn't seem to have a video setting. But we can always, we can always disregard the video later on. What's this effects? Okay, no worries. Click OK. It will render to this file called screenshot.mp4. Let me just start. Yep. So now it's rendering the MP4 audio and some dummy video. We're going to import this into Final Cut Pro and use it to match up with our video. Yeah, and this is it. Yeah, the workflow is a bit complicated now because we're using two programs. We're using Premiere to edit the music, and we're using Final Cut Pro to edit the video. Hopefully, it will be a lot simpler in the next round. Um, um, what are my thoughts about Final Cut Pro? This is the first time I'm using it. I find it surprisingly productive. Things are just a lot simpler somehow in Final Cut Pro. Remember that in fact, in Adobe Premiere, when I right-click something, there'd be a huge, long menu. It seems like Premiere Pro has really gone too much bloated over the years. Adobe Premiere will have lots and lots of features in there, and it's quite confusing because there's so many things in there. But right now, everything just stands out quite easily. For example, new compound clip is the one feature that I use the most often. It's very easily accessible here. I don't recall if Premiere is this kind of feature, but it just creates a new compound clip and just click in there and I see everything. Um, uh, yeah, the way that we do effects is quite interesting. It shows the um, uh, the keyframes inside the clip. You know, when we do a video animation, this is quite surprising. Um, and the other feature that I like very much in Final Cut Pro is that I can do a right click transcode media. Yeah, it automatically handles that. Is there something similar in Premiere? Let me see. The trouble with Premiere is that there are all these nice features in there, but it's kind of hidden, and there's like a whole bunch of features in there. See, it's not clear. Okay, there's a whole bunch of things again. It's not clear how I would do a proxy. What is a proxy? No. There are just too many options here, and it just complicates things. Final Cut Pro seems like a good fresh start. It looks quite intuitive, and it seems to make editing a lot simpler. Yep. I will not continue editing this video. Hopefully, I'll get this out real soon. I think the next challenge is that we're going to match up the music. Some of the parts here are running too fast, too quick. I'm going to adjust the speed. Right now, I'm just using this as a placeholder. I'm ramping up the speed so that I'm trying to match up the duration of the sections. But later on, as we try to match up with the beats of the music, we will try to slow down some of these parts. It doesn't. People don't look good when they are sped up too much. So we'll restore them to 100% speed, but we might clip out only some parts of these sections. Yeah. I will update you again in the next video. Please see the video description below for the link to the next video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.